Hey guys, Sam Choate here. I've got something for y'all today. I am going to be showing you how to fix a common problem with these older model Taylor 12 strings, which is a battery compartment corrosion problem. There's our battery that's stuck, and just around the edges we've got, you can see some fair bit of corrosion down in there, and that's what we're gonna try to fix today. So, getting down in there, I promise, is not so bad. You might look at that compartment and think, well, how do I get into that? There's no screws, there's no nothing. This is where you're gonna want a knife, a razor blade, something of that nature. I'm using this little Swiss Army knife. We just need something thin that is going to be invasive but surgical. So all we're gonna do is right around this edge, there's a plastic ring that's the actual pickup assembly and everything, and then there's this, which deceitfully is just a facade. Insert it anywhere where I can see a little bit of a gap and just work it around. It also helps to use the blunt side of the knife to work it around, unlike what I was just doing. Once you get it around a little bit and you can get your finger underneath, you're gonna find that it's just glued on. And lo and behold, we've got ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4 little screws we can take off. All right, we've got our 4 screws out. It just pulls out really nice and easy. One thing you're gonna want to be aware of is the output will start to separate from this plastic housing. So the actual jack is inside there. This is why we took our strings off. In a moment here, we're actually gonna have to reach down inside and push back on that circuit board. But for now, we're just going to pull that out so that we can get to the battery compartment. There's nothing wrong, as far as I know, with the 1/4 inch. It is just the fact that I can't get fresh batteries in there. So that's what the actual connection used inside to go over to the preamp and everything. Just be aware of that. Try not to put too much stress on these solder joints or these cables. You know, depending on how skilled you are yourself with the soldering iron. Being careful may save you a trip to the luthier, I'll say that. Alright, so as you can see, there's corrosion around that wire, on the back side there. But the good news is we're gonna get all of that cleaned up, and this is where our toothbrush and vinegar are really gonna come in handy. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Yeah, we're scrubbing. Oh yeah, just wipe off some of the excess. We're corrosion free of the power connection, but we still have that battery down in there. I haven't re-dipped my toothbrush in the vinegar at all. I'm just using barely any, because I don't want to douse this thing, you know. Okay, that whole thing about not dousing the thing in vinegar kind of went out the window, but you still have the problem of, well, the battery is still stuck down in there. So the battery is actually loose down there. The spring is loose, I should say. I think it's stuck to the spring. I think that's our problem. So I can hear it fizzing. That's a good thing. Get rid of that junk right there. But I'm actually making some progress here. It's almost out. Don't want to damage my input, but what do you do? Oh man, look at that. I've almost got it. One of the things I tried earlier on was actually taking, the eraser of a pencil and dabbing a bunch of the gel super glue on that, pressing it down in there against the battery. Man, I tried that 3 or 4 times, waited for it to dry each time, and I would get it to pull a little bit, and then that super glue would just let go. So I wasn't quite lucky enough to get it out non-invasively, and I hope it's helpful to you guys, because I've read online that a lot of people have apparently faced this issue in their older Taylors. Just that in the era when they were using the AA's, that they're... Look at that, I've almost got it. It's a highly scientific video. Oh baby, look at that. coming out. It's glorious. Oh yeah. Look, you can see it going. It's working. Gonna smell like vinegar after I'm done, but I'll at least be able to plug it in. Hopefully I don't loosen any of the wiring inside, or we're gonna see if we can't get this guy out. Here we go. Yeah. Wow. Nothing left of that guy. I'm gonna throw him in the trash. Alright, now as you can see with all that jostling around, I actually did pull one of the connections loose. So I went and got my soldering iron, and we are just gonna touch up that connection real quick. I am not
an expert at soldering,
so please
don't judge me.
Ta-da, so it'll stay. Alright, shouldn't take much here. What the f? Well, I kept the heat on there too long because the dang solder wasn't melting, and melted some things. I melted the plastic housing on that battery compartment. I'm determined to get this thing done, and I'm determined also to not blame my tools, because this thing gets hot enough. I'm melting the solder. For some reason the solder is not grabbing onto that contact, and that is what I don't understand. Okay, so I messed the guitar up. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I overestimated my abilities. So, which is funny because I just got done watching a video on a study done about people overestimating their abilities when it comes to things that they're less competent at. So I just did that. Luckily, my friend Drew Seipert is gonna come over and help me fix the guitar, and we're gonna get it rolling, I hope. It's coming to save the day.
Coming to save the day.
Thank you.
Hello, Lou.
Shapoopy.
How are you, Ariel?
Hi, Drew. I'm good.
How do I turn the thing up? There we go. I guess I'm turning the shutter speed down. I'm learning. And you know how you learn?
By filming literally everything?
No, by making mistakes and melting your guitar pickup cavity. Yeah, I just wanted to heat up the thing so that the solder would flow, and...
Alright, first things first. Yeah, that's why.
What's wrong with it?
You, sir, are trying to solder without flux.
Yeah, I don't have any flux. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. Flux is what allows solder to flow, right? So you get the flow, but if you don't have any flux, it acts as a surfactant.
A surfactant. A
surfactant. And what a surfactant does is it breaks up the surface tension of the material that you're working with, your liquid material. So water has when water beads up and rolls down something, it's called surface tension.
Oh, yep.
Flux breaks down the surface tension and allows it to spread out.
Okay, and so it binds to it.
Yeah, exactly. So you need flux.
I need flux.
Or you need to go get some solder that is flux core.
Yeah, I thought I was doing good because it was lead free.
Yeah, no, that's good. Up to code, but you need flux core.
All right, so we got the stuff, we got the flux, and I am gonna right my wrongs here with Drew now. First part of righting my wrong is I put a little bit of that electrical tape around this just to keep that contact in place since I melted through it. So we got the stuff, we got the flux. We're gonna flux it up now. I'm gonna get a little dab of it on there. And then you go about soldering. It's good if you inhale it first too.
You're gonna heat it up. Go ahead and touch it, you gotta touch the tip. Maybe pinch between the two of them, that's another good technique. Set down your solder and pinch it. There you go.
There it goes.
Does the house smell weird to y'all?
Probably this flux.
Yeah, probably the solder.
Does it smell like it's burning?
No.
What's it smell like?
I don't know, it smells like macaroni and cheese or something.
I don't know, dude.
Odd.
Alright, let's see how it's done. Did you get it? What's your secret? Were you heating up the contact?
Heating up the contact, and a good way to doing it is to put the solder on top of your contact and then set the soldering iron between, like sandwiching the solder between the contact and the soldering iron. Does that make sense?
No.
Like taking your, whatever you're
It's 'cause I'm-
soldering, and you sandwich it.
Because I was manual focusing and getting a phone call while listening to you talk. Okay, sorry, say that again?
Well, a good technique for me is to, like say I'm soldering this right here, is to put the solder down and then sandwich. That works really well.
Okay.
That's something that I've always kind of done.
Okay.
Now, and I have a lot of...
See, I was doing everything I could think of earlier, and it would just flop right off of it because I didn't have the flux.
Yeah, flux core's a lot easier to work with.
Because it's got the secret sauce in it.
Yeah. Kind of like, it's a little bit idiot proof. You see how I'm doing that right there?
Yeah, you got the solder down, and then you're touching the tip to it. Man, it helps when you know. Which part did you say was idiot proof?
Flux core. Flux core is idiot
Yeah,
proof.
so that's what I should have bought. Alright, so thanks to Uncle Drew coming through, I think we now have the solder connections fixed, and we're ready to put back, my dog is whining at me, we're ready to put back the battery compartment and input jack back into the guitar. Gotta make sure that our jack goes back in. Looking good so far. Classic fumbling around on the inside cavity of an acoustic guitar for those of you new to this sort of thing. Hey, feels pretty good. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're back in place. Everything is back in place. Let's get some screws put in there, and then we will put this almost all the way back together. We're gonna put some batteries in there and test it before we get everything put back together. Oh, there it goes. Okay, there's that. Got some fresh Duracells, and good, they're not stuck. And we will just pop this guy back on. We have that cover that goes on afterwards, so we'll just we'll reapply that after we know everything's working. So it's time to get her all plugged in. I got nothing, so we're still not to the bottom of it. It's possible I messed something up while I was getting that old battery out. It's possible there's still some corrosion down inside. I'm not super experienced with these things, so I think our next step is to find somebody that is. So that's gonna do it for me on this adventure. We're gonna get this thing working because this Taylor is really, really a gorgeous guitar, and it sounds so good. It sounds so giant and awesome, and I want to be able to plug it in. Want to see what it sounds like through that little vintage harmony, because I'm like that. We'll do that in the future once we get it going. If you guys have any idea what's going on with this, or have some suggestions for me, make sure you leave a comment below telling me what you think might be going on. That would be amazing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.